All right, we love slope-intercept form for most equations because it's so easy to graph. So the question is, when would we ever want it in standard form? Remember, standard form is like 2x plus 7y equals c, or my example here, 5x plus 2y equals 10. And we do call this number in front the a value, the number right there the b value, and this number here our c value. So we do refer to them as the a, b, and c value. Well, the answer is it makes it easy to find x and y intercepts. That's the main reason we would want to put it in standard form. It's also extremely handy when we're solving systems of linear equations, which is what we're going to do a little bit later on. You've done it before. That's where you have two equations and you got to find the values of x and y that make both equations true. Now, to me, the most important part of why we're switching things into standard form is learning to manipulate equations to make them look the way you want. That's very important, that you can change things around. So here are the rules for standard form. 1, no fractions anywhere. You can't have a fraction in the equation. The a value, the value in front of x, has to always be positive. We always want to start off the equation like 2x or 3x or 5x. We never want to start off negative 8x or negative 7x. We want the value in front of x to always be positive. And finally, the equation must be in simplest form. The a, b, and c values can't all be like even numbers where you could divide everybody by 2 to clean it up. That way, everybody has the exact same equation. So let's take a look. Let's rewrite this in standard form. Well, right now it has what? Y, it's in slope-intercept, which is great to graph. We could plot our y-intercept at -5 and know a slope of 2, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. But we want this in standard form. We want it to be something x plus something y equals the number. So I need to move my x over to that side. So let's subtract 2x from both sides. That gives me negative 2x because I want it first. The y is positive and the 5 is negative. Looks pretty good. There's no fractions, but the value in front of x is negative. We can't have that. So here's what we're going to do. To clean it up, we simply multiply the whole thing through by -1. And what that'll do is that'll give us positive 2x. The y will become negative, and the 5 will become positive. Everybody reverses who they are. Positives become negatives, negatives become positives when you're multiplying through by -1. And now our equation's beautiful. You have no fractions. The value in front is positive. And 2, 1, and 5, there's nothing that can divide the 2 there, the 1 that's here in front of y, and the 5. The greatest common factor they have is 1. So we're great. What about this guy? What do I do here? Well, same thing. Now, you could clear the fraction out first if you wanted, or you could move the x over. Let's go ahead and clear the fraction. Okay, it's a matter of preference. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Excuse me. So what are we going to multiply through by? Well, if we're dividing by 7, let's multiply the whole thing by 7. That gives me 14y equals 5x plus 14. Okay, because 7 times 5 sevens cleared the 7 out and gave me 5x. Now I need to move my 5x over. So I subtract 5x. I have negative 5x plus a 14y equals a 14. Now, what could I do? Ooh, I got to get rid of that negative. So I'm going to have to multiply again. That's why, to be honest, it probably would have been better to have brought the 5/7 over first, and then we could have just multiplied by -7 and cleared everything up at once. But it doesn't matter. Multiplying by -1 here, everybody's going to flip their value. And there's our equation. And notice there's no fraction. The value in front of x is positive. And 5, 14, and 14, there's nothing that can divide them all. All right, now it says, give the equation of the line in standard form that goes through 1, 4 and is perpendicular to the line y equals -3x plus 8. Well, if I got to make an equation, I always start with this point slope formula. Okay, because all I ever have to find is the slope. Well, I want to be perpendicular to this line. This guy has a slope of -3. So what's the perpendicular slope? Well, flip it and negate it. That would be 1/3. Because if I flip it, because it's really -3 over 1, that gives me 1/3 in the opposite. So it goes in the other direction to cross it at 90 degrees, makes it 1/3. So I have everything I need. y minus the y sub 1 was given to me here is 4. The slope I have is 1/3. The x sub 1 is a 1. So now I distribute through 1/3 x minus 1/3. Now I'm going to put some things together before let's move the board a little bit. Got to put some things together. Let's go ahead and we want to move the x over and move that minus 4 over. So we'll move the x over first. So I have negative 1/3 x plus y minus 4 equals negative 1/3. Move my 4 over, so let's add 4. Add 4. You know, it might be smarter. We could add 4. But it might be smarter to go ahead and clear out these fractions, because when I move 4 over, you're going to get 3 2/3. But we don't. Let's get it cleaned up first. Let's multiply through by a 3. Let's make it a -3 so the x is positive. -3 times 1/3 makes x positive. -3 times the y is minus 3y. -3 times the minus 4 is plus 12. And -3 times the negative 1/3 is positive 1. Now I simply subtract 12, and I'm going to have my answer. And there you have it.